अच्छा ही अच्छा किया ना मैंने पहले भेज दिए मेरे साथ तैयार कर रहा हूँ अच्छा लगा कि मैंने पता इसलिए मैंने पूरी दे दिया तकरीबन लास्ट सब तैयार कर दी थी पूरी अच्छा किया ना सर अपने तैयार कर रखे ना अपनी कर दिया ना सर वेरी गुड आगे से ही करेंगे मैं ना आपको भेज दिया मैं तो जब तुमने भेजा जब आगे चेक कर ऊपर लगा नहीं वेरी गुड क्योंकि मनीष थोड़ा बिजी रहता है ना गिफ्ट में क्या पता नहीं Good morning. Good morning to everyone. So I am HARADHAN BISWAS, Academic Counselor of IGNOU. So today MMPH 001, the Organizational Theory and Design. So today actually we have to discuss the block number 3, where there are 2 units, unit number 6 and 7. Unit number 6 is our topology of organizational design, and unit number 7 is your contemporary organizational design. So here basically we have to see the design part of the organizations. So coming to the topology, there are actually the line organizations, staff, line and staff organizations, functional organizations, then production organizations, different structure we have to discuss, and see the hybrid structure also, and vertical, horizontal, then your project organizations, so for the project management purposes, matrix organizations, virtual organizations, and basically the network structures. So all this within the unit that we have to see what type of characteristics and what the way it has explained. Then unit number 7 will be a contemporary organizational design, where you have to see what are the factors influencing the changing the organizational design, and choosing your appropriate organizational design based on the situation. Then your organizational diagnosis, issues and the concept of the organizational issues, emergence due to contingency workforce, and other major organizational design challenges, etc. Now let's concentrate on unit number 6, that is a topology of the organizational designs. A organization structure basically specifies the various job tasks. What are the jobs in the level wise that has been defined, and so how it has formally divided. What the way it is divided means finance, marketing, HR, training and deployment. All these things are what the way it is divided and grouped and coordinated to each other. Then it provides an appropriate framework for the authority relationships, what the way it is related and who report to whom. That relationship has already will be indicated. And it indicates that the hierarchy of the organizational design authority and the reporting to relationship, as you say, that is what the with the government regulations, taxing systems. So that is uncertainty is there. During the planning of the design, you have to keep some of the provision for the uncertainty, and that situation contingency we can take maximum advantage of these situations. Then topology of the organizational design, again the line generated organizations. So in the simplest form of the organization structure, because the line organizations basically the simplest for frontline managers, whatever. Line structure is based on the scalar principles, where the state of the authority and the response should flow, particularly the directions, line vertically, says to the vertically from the highest level to the organizations to the lower levels. Stateway, the line structures appears. Vertical lines we're talking about. The primary emphasis in the line organizations is upon the superior and the subordinate relationships. Who will be the superiors and the subordinate. So this is the way you have to make a line, vertical lines. So that's why it is it's called as a vertical line organizations. So every person in the organizations is a direct chain of the command. It's a direct chain of the command that is. Now this is the way one of the typical topology organization design has given. You see there is a particular vertical position and totally in a line sections. So general manager, particular then he is the head superior, then manager finance, deputy managers, finance, accountant, and assistant. So assistant will report whatever the things, billing or all these things he can make and present to accountant. Accountant will again review and ultimately he will be approved or recommended to the deputy manager finance, and deputy manager will be again further forwarded to manager finance, and finally it will reach the staff functionaries and the support and the advice of the line executives. This is one of the diagrams where you see there's a board of directors. Typically, most of the companies, they have a director, board of directors. Then under the board of directors, we have a managing directors, and your manager HR is also there. It can is a support systems, maybe in the not exactly in the parallel levels, but is a support systems. Then financial advisors and the chief accounting officer is also giving inputs to the managing directors. And finally, the board of directors are getting the information from that levels. And then managing directors are also getting input from manager levels, and your assistant to managing directors. Yes, one of the things, conducting the meeting, coordinating everything. And then finally, the lower level, that is a manager division 1, manager division 2, and management 3. There are 3 divisions are there. All the divisions are directly reporting to the managing directors. So this is the one of the layout, typical layout is there, organizational structure, and what the way it is designed. Then see the advantage. What is the advantage of line and staff operations? So line and staff operations is a staff specialist relieve the line executives of the organization. So specialized functions like selection, training, development, wage and salary administrations, accounting, public relations, as I said. So this is the area, or you can say specialized functions, because you have to deal with the public relations. Definitely you have to satisfy the employees as well as the suppliers or your end users in the case of marketing. Then administrations, one of the big issues. Then another is the wage and salary compensation package is correct or not, so that it can you may be required to negotiate with the unions. Maybe you have to seek meeting for the meeting purposes, for satisfy the workers and the union bodies. So some specialized experience are required. However, the disadvantage is also there in the structures, because the functionaries are not accountable for the results. They may not be performing their duties effectively. The chances are there. So this is one of the disadvantages. Every design and structures are not a thumb rule. It is not a fixed. It is case-to-case basis, organization to organizations, depending on the length and size. Now we see another example of the organization structure, that is your managing director, the general manager. Then under the general manager, there are chief manager productions, chief manager marketing, chief manager finance, chief manager human resources, chief manager R&D. And everybody has some another group or department is there. They are reporting directly to that manager. So this is the way it is. Functional organizational structures are shown. Here in this unit, normally we are talking about the various type of design structures. Now, functional organizational structures. So far, we have seen the line management or line-oriented your frontline structures. Now we have to see the functional organizational structures. What are the advantages? This type of structures are the grouping of the people together on the basis of the specialized expertise. As I say, there are R&D, one of the functions, finance, one of the functional department. So there are some of them specialized expertise to be. So organizations can facilitate both their utilizations and the coordinations in the service of their whole organizations. The functional grouping also provides the opportunities for the promotion and the career department. So within the functional department, they should have some career programs also. They should have one particular one staff after 3 years, he may be promoted. It can be next levels. So that development, career development program is also should be there. Then one of the major disadvantages also there, that is a sectional interest, because particular sections, they may take interest, there may not be, some competition will be there, there's some conflict, it may be some occur. So needs of the organization as a whole. So that's why the conflict management is also see, so that it should not be continue or not go to the up to the that mark or level, so that the stress level should start. So conflict as early as possible you have to reduce it, but by virtue of the phenomena, conflict will be there because of the sometimes interest, individual interests are different. It is human nature. So now see another topological design. This is the managing director, then your director of R&D, then director of finance, director of corporate marketing, director. There are so many directors are also there. They are ultimately reporting to many directors. There are director levels are there. And again, some of the other things are there. They are also reporting to many directors. So this is the way some another layout is there. This is a product-based organization where the different product levels are there. So every product level there are some different directors are there. He has the responsibility to guide them to the juniors and take the reports. What are the directives and the rule and regulation policies? Can decision-making process can be downloaded, and at the same time, you can also report to the managing director. This is another type of product-based organization structures. Now, see the your product. The form of the organizational structure is adopted by large companies, producing a wide range of products because there are some production ranges used, and the activities are grouped on the basis of the individual products and manufactured by the company. Now, advantage is there in the product organizations. It can be enables to diversifications. You can divert the things, your product range from different to different. So product to take place with the minimal effort. And another advantage is that you can cope up better with the technological changes, because if the technologies come, maybe you can replace all the machines, the computers, so that your product can be increased, or maybe the errorless product can be possible. So technology is one of the technological changes can help. The technology can change, can help to reduce your errors, or maybe the manpowers also as well. So and maybe within the group also their quantity production can be increased. So specialized supplements is one of the major units. The disadvantage, you see everywhere, any structures, some advantages there and disadvantages also there. So obviously, if the particular structure there are disadvantages more and very critical, then that structure obviously may not be a very good structure. So you have to see the 70-80% advantages there and not. Maybe for hardly one or two factors for the disadvantage. It may be the in terms of percentage, you can say percentage, it may be 5 or 10% disadvantage. It can be guaranteed that tolerance level should be there. So you have to see how when you are designing the things in the time, what the advantage of this. If the advantage part is more, definitely you have to is greater than your disadvantage, you have to adopt this. The main disadvantage of the product organization is that each product divisions may promote its own product groups in a way that creates a problem, because there are if it is an individual product limited things, they can promote the things. To sometimes it will create problems for the objectives of the company, because the target is that particular product divisions are to be given 1,000 productions, particular this month. If particular division they are changing or something, or maybe different way they are group or creating different product, so it may affect to the originality. Then hybrid organization structures. So that is the combination of your both. So there in this case, president is there, then accounting, finance, obviously, finance, and vice president of the auto parts and the engineering materials, another vice president, and the sales, human resource, and marketing divisions are there. So in this case, this is called hybrid organizational structures. Let's see what are the advantages and disadvantages of this. The hybrid form combines the features of the both functional and the divisional forms. In this case, functional, there are also divisional forms. Both the things are shown. So both the things are here. Some functional department is HR, marketing, or functionals, and some divisional, the vice president of auto parts is a different divisions are there. So there, so in this case, it is a combined. That's why that it is hybrid. Combined services, both functionals and the divisional forms. And it establishes some of the self-contained units. And functional part of the organization is reflected in the part your departments of the centralized. So, and at the corporate levels, basically. And however, each of the product divisions has specialized the function areas, necessary assistance. So the important advantage of the hybrid, as a result, here the overall organizations enjoy the benefits of the both, because here both the things are there. Functional division is also there, and your product, that is all decentralized structures, because product divisions are different. So when it is a different product levels, divisions are there, this power is also distributed. Their product ranges are already, target is also distributed different. So this is why it is a decentralized. Decentralized means whatever the reporting systems are not centralized. Reporting systems are decentralized, means all the directors of the particular divisions, they can take their own. So it gives the opportunity to improve the coordinations. And this is the way it is better we can coordinate. You cannot wait for the central, I think, central decisions, when you cannot wait for these things. Individual product, particular divisions, the divisions can take their decisions based on this, the scenario. Other divisions also based on this scenario, the situations, he can take the directions. Don't wait for the central corporate levels. Finally, they have to report. Finally, they have to say, as a prospective, or maybe after taking the decisions, they can only inform to center, this is the things we are following. So they can definitely have to intimate the things, but the decision-making process are decentralized. Basically, the particular group divisional head has to take the lead. So this is one of the advantage, because sometimes it is a very improvement of the particular divisions and as a whole for the company also. Now it enables the organization to pursue an adaptive strategy within the product divisions, while at the same time achieving the efficiency in the functional department. At the same time, you can, so adaptability is one of the important. So this is called the adaptive strategy. You have to adapt the things. All the divisions are adapted the same in the same time frame. You can do it unifiedly. You have to do it, but the responsibility are distributed. So this is one of the advantages. And another thing is it helps the proper alignment of the corporate and divisional goals, because every divisionals, they have some goals. They have to target has been fixed. They have to achieve the targeted figures. At the same time, they have to see what the corporate desire. I mean, it is already decided by the top management. Corporate levels strategy means basically the overall organization's decisions. So that has to be aligned, that these are really fitting or not. I mean, that I mean to say, suppose the total achievement is 10, and divisional achievements are distributed to like this way. There are 5 divisions, and 2 have to, number 1 divisions you have to achieve 2 for the as a quantity or as a target values. So if there are all the divisions are 5 the divisions are 2, 2, 2. So 5 to 5, 10. So total objectives, it is decided by the target, decided by the corporate levels or organizational levels, 10. So it is fulfilled. This is the way you have to consider it. If some particular one division's target not filled the 2 is a 1, so definitely out of 10 is a 9 only, totality. So it helps the proper alignment of the corporate and the divisional goals. So a major disadvantage of the hybrid structure is that it is often leads to excessive duplications of the activities. Sometimes the chances of duplications are also there because there are 5 divisions, for example, and within the 5 divisions, it is not possible to standardize the same pattern. Sometimes it may be up or down, or maybe the organizations. Because everything are followed by the procedures, rules, regulations, and which guide the behavior of the individual performing these jobs also. So this is, we can say, it's a formal organizations. But in case of the informal organizations, outcome of the social interactions that takes place between the individuals and the formal organizations. When the people work together, they tend to form of informal work group also. Because you see, when you are in the department, you definitely have to follow in areas or in the lunch areas when you're sitting together with people, ideas can share and communication can be built up. So this is the some of the, say, your informal groups. But I try to emphasize the things. What are the advantage? What are the disadvantage? And what the way both the things are required in the organization. That is why I try to emphasize. The informal group is also there. Your company should be formal organizations. At the same time, you have to see your informal organizations means some of the area is really needed to brainstorming or new ideas from where we can get it. So these informal groups are collectively known as your informal organizations. When these different informal groups are there, so collectively we can say these informal organizations, or you can say the divisions also. Now coming to formal and informal organizations. So informal organizations can benefit and formal organizations in the following ways. That is, some of the ways are described. It serves as a useful channel of the communication. As I say, when you are in the canteen or in maybe the cafeteria area, there is no boss, nobody is observing, no burden is there. You are from just like a free bird, or just like a free bird. So it lightens the workload also. What are the benefits? Because maybe continuously 3-4 hours you are working. In same, you are focused on these things. Now you require some of the rest, brain rest. You can see that some of the relaxations is required. Well, so that's why the channel of communication have to be prepared. Maybe that's why the cafeteria area, or canteen area, or maybe the tiffin time, or maybe the tea break time. So there you can have some different communication levels, and you can lighten your workloads. And that is the management. So that's the important to the informal your work group. Those who are in the informal work groups, really it is required. That's important for them. So it reduces the undesirable effects of the rigidities and the formal organizations. Because sometimes when rigidity is there, that can be reduced, I think, mentally. Because human behavior are very difficult. They have to have some changes are required. So it gives a safety valve for the employee emotions. That is a very important thing. Safety valve, which means you see when the pressure is built up, as we in the pressure cooker, you see there are some valves there 1, 2, 3, then some pressure can goes out, that, and it can automatically will be stabilized. And then again, it is waiting for the second your valve of a safety valve. So safety valve, it cannot be burst out. So that's why if you invented some of the things, or you can discuss some of the things, so your stress level can be reduced. So it provides a safety valve. That's why it is a safety valve for the employees' emotions. So informal communications are needed. Now the term of the centralizations. So what are the centralizations? Centralization is decision making at the single point in the organizations. In contrast, when the top management gives the maximum through not complete, then directions to the lower level, personal in the organization to make decisions, then it can be said that there is a decentralization in the organizations. Decentralization organizations action can be taken more quietly to solve the problems, and more people provide the inputs and decisions, because when it is decentralized, so every divisions have a people are designated because you are particular area. So there are problem solving conditions are improved. More people are giving input. Their participation will be more in the process of your decision making process. So for farms having a number of plants which are located in the different places. So decentralization is more beneficial when the plant is different locations. So all the plant, particular plant number 1, or plant number 2, or plant number 3. So what is going on in all the plants from the center? For monitoring purposes, it is very difficult. So when those who are already appointed or those who are working in the plant number 1, they are very much aware of all these things, what is going on. So they should come up, they should say some of the give informations. So from all the plants levels, the individual ideas, then you can accumulate it, and collective ideas can be passed to the central. Then it will be easy and better way you can control the things. Now, see the advantage of decentralizations. As I said, the burden of the top management level will reduce because when you are distributed, the decision-making process or whatever the things, collection of the informations. So it is really distributed. Then it will you low down the burden of the top levels. So it is reduces, and it can be contributed to the staff motivation by enabling middle and the lower level management. Because lower level management, middle level, they have a chance to go in the part of the your decision making process. They are maybe the ideas can become up, new ideas can become up, and finally it will reach to the top level, and that all these ideas can be utilized for your forthcoming projects or the new projects. You can, when you are designing for the new projects purposes, that time all these feedbacks, all these ideas can be utilized for the betterment of the organizations. So that's why the decentralized organizations viewpoint, not only solving the present scenario, but all this feedback, all these things can in the future also can be utilized. Now, some of the, as you know, some of the disabilities also to be there. So greater coordinations, because a lot of coordinations also like individual coordinations, overall coordinations. Coordination part will be increased. So senior management to be ensured that individual units in the organizations are not working against the interest. Because if it is against the interest of the whole organization, it will be difficult. So that situation are there. So that is the one of the part. Then lead to inconsistency of the treatment. Sometimes some of the inconsistency are likely to be happen, and especially for the service industries, their chances are there. Then motivated the managers. Sometimes that is required for the plentiful supply of the capable and well motivated managers who are able to cope with the increased responsibility which decentralization brings about. We see here some of the level vertical structures are given, size of the vertical structures. Then in these structures, you see the size of the chain of the genes is common. So hierarchical levels are, it may be 3 levels or 4 levels, 5 levels, depending on your size of the company. The main advantage in this case is the vertical organizations that it provides the better communications of the organizations, because all the communications are directly goes from values and the goals and the missions of the employees can be passed on easily. So another thing is ability to sustain, because some of the times you can sustain the things. The very high degree of specializations of the functions are in the roles. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages, they consume more times because when the hierarchy levels, different levels are high, more levels, there are chances of delay because it will take time. And even in the decision making process also may be different because different opinion will come. Another level, hierarchy levels, he observe some of the, he can download it, the things. It can be rectified again, it will go. So ultimately, the top layer, when it is in the top layer, it maybe there are 3 to 4 times it can be circulation times or maybe that it can be. So that's the way it is delayed. So vertical structures basically go to hand with the formality and the standardizations, the scope of initiative, risk taking, and the operational levels becomes limited. Now horizontal structures. Now we have to see the horizontal structures. It is created around the 3 to 5 core process for the time rather than traditional departmental functions. The vertical hierarchy is flattened to reduce the level of the supervision because that case supervision are not required because in the vertical system there are a lot of supervisions required because different so many levels are there. But in this case, when it is flattened, there is no hierarchy. Basically, levels are really hardly 1 or 2. So in this case, where your supervision conditions are limited. And your multi-functional department is a cross-functional self-management terms. That is the, you can say the human resources, quality control, and all are cross-functional groups are there. So horizontal group, another things are there, characteristics are there, the customer satisfactions, net profits, primary driver, and the measure of the performance. Because, so for example, there are 4 or 5 outlets in particular organizations. When you see their inquiry levels are also very distributed way. You can see the level of things are customized because the particular window, particular this purpose, this window for another purpose. So public dealing department, there are 4 or 5 windows are there, purposes. So this is the way you can queue of the public dealings can be reduced. So horizontal structures are better way they can tackle the customers or the publics. Now you see in this case there are levels are reduced, hardly 1 or 2 levels are there. It is the main advantage of vertical organizations are the main advantage. This is your decision making can be taken very quickly because only 1 or 2 levels. So in the horizontal structures are fewer problems of the coordination. There is no very much your coordinations are there. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages of horizontal structures is the absence of the proper reporting to the your supervisors, superiors, and the subordinates because of the decentralizations. This is one of the disadvantages. Now another thing is your size of the project team. That is one of the important. And then your quality standards are to be prescribed so that organizational design depends on the so many coordination and the activities purposes. So better way, and then what are the external agencies are involved, that part we have to see. And so this is one of the part where actually we can see your organizational project organizational part, depending on the project team how to decide what are the varies from the project to project areas. So it is a quite challenging things to how to give the responsibilities and completion of the project teams within the time schedules. So let's see what are the layout. General manager, then project 1, project 2, there are 2 project managers or things, then project manager. And there is project 1 shown, typically shown the project 1. Immediately the project 2, another set of things will be there. So team members are basically your product managers, engineers, quality control, and then your HRM, sales, and your research teams. So these all are the part of your project teams. Project organization is suitable when the company gets a one-time assignment or a huge contract, or when the company faces a unique challenges. So it may be, see, this type of organizations, project organizations may be your different time, 2 years, 3 years project. When the project is complete, again it will be reassembled, and maybe the new structure to be, what are the staffs and everything that we reshuffles and do for the another project purposes. So it is project specific purposes organizations are there. So advantage is there, the participating specialists of the project team get opportunity for for prompt explorations and your effective completions of the goal of the project. They finish the particular project and they have to motivate, okay, you can go for the another project as a team leaders. So that is the career development purposes also is very important. And maximum contributions in the execution of the project is and speedy communications between the project manager and the team of the members. And that's, you see here, some of the things are flattened when urgently are there. And even for that, so that it can be do fast, we can faster the jobs. It provides the flexibility of the handling the various tasks also. And some of the disadvantages are there, that the project becomes meaningless if the entire project will be meaningless if the project manager fails to coordinate. Because in this case, coordination is very important in the project management, this type of design. Because coordination fails because the supplier has to supply some of the things, for example, and that supplier are not timely the particular, even in the not bolts, what are the things, then you cannot lay out some of the things. So you have to stack up somewhere. Your gang or team are to be stuck up. So there are some of the critical path measurements, CPM, are important. There. You have to analyze the things, and so that's the good project manager is required. If the project manager is failed, then maybe the whole system should fail. So knowledgeable and those are already experienced project, already experienced, that type of manager should be appointed as a leader. So members of the project organizations have to savor the contracts of the your mainstreams. And the job of the project manager becomes very difficult because he has to deal with the specialist from a number of diverse fields. So these are all the challenges basically. Rather than we can see the disadvantage, we can see it is a challenge. Matrix organizations are combination of the things there where basically R&Ds, laboratories, where the construction companies are in the matrix process, hospitals, government agencies, universities, management consulting firms, entertainment companies, these all are falling under the matrix organizations. There will be better. Now one of the diagram is there. Managing directors, the general manager, and then product, all the divisional managers are there, productions, HRM, and your particular finance, marketing. It is a typical, it may be a change. So here actually everything are there. That's why we can see it is a matrix organization. So all the things are available. So facilities coordination, when the organization has multiple complex and the interdependent activities, so it is facilitated. And they ensure the effective utilization of the services of the people with the highest specialized skills is also needed. Then it is a breaks in the unity of the common concept. Then first are the power struggles, the materialization equals the higher cost sometimes. Then you can see some network relationships, and the networking is also done through the electronic technology. This is basically the virtual organization part where the networking is very important. Now in this case, you see the virtual organizations, R&Ds and manufacturing companies are different locations are different way, then even though we can manage. So because of your internet connections, you can control the things. What are the advantage? In this case, you can save the time and value also, because the partner brings the core competence. And the major disadvantages are there because you use the management control, because you are not controlling the things where they are performing or not. You cannot judge from the remote. Sometimes you can miss some mismatch in the controlling part. Reliability of the partners sometimes is doubtful. So these are all of the disadvantage parts. Boundaryless organizations are typically, again, it is the international part. Then your strategies, why the management is taken by the why? Because to reduce the various of the horizontal boundaries. So some replacing the functional department, the cross-functional department, and some defined activities around the process. Okay, now then we can show you some inverted pyramid structure. This is another important structure there. Why this pyramid means reverse. Inverted means just like a reverse inverted pyramids. Shape are not, the vertex are in the top, in the bottom now, instead of in the top. So CEO are now in the bottom and customers in the top. In this case, BPO and other customer service companies, those who are the service-oriented companies. You see the customers are dealing by the line manager or something. They are from all these views, all these instructions are coming from there, and it is done by a final then frontline managers. They are controlling this view. So this is the way the decision-making process and everything dealings are from the reverse. It is inverted. So that's why it is especially for the BPO jobs and other service-oriented jobs, call centers, this type of things. They are following the structures. Now, to expose deep and contemporary. Now, here see some of the organizational need to be local point of that transformations. The inclusivity and the employee's voice, then changing the workplace dynamics, the role of the organization's environment, and the environment can be classified in two categories. There's the tax environment and the general environment. Role of the international environment. So we are talking about what are the during the design, what are the factors? Basically, all of the factors to be considered. As per the Michael Porter's competitive force of the strategies, the threat to the entities, the power of the suppliers, power of the buyers, the threat of the substitutes, and rivalry among the existing competitors. That you have to see within these parameters, within this scenario, your organization has to be designed. I mean, your structures will be there. Then the main issues, what are the issues for the organizations? You have to see what are the issues for the organizational design. Your accompanying your priorities due to poor governance, then your unwanted turnover due to lousy role your decisions design, then inaccessible process due to the excessive span of the control, and cross-functionals are heavily due to misaligned incentives. So all are the main organizational design issues are there. Another thing due to the contingency workforce. That is sometimes there are different issues are there, because some of the labor's workforce you are hiring, and in the case of your contingency program, you have to keep some of the employees for as a ad hoc or different purposes, so that your actual work or product work cannot be suffered. So you have to have some buffer stocks for some of the employees and some of the workforce should be there, so that the situations can be, cope up any situation you can. So employees are generally part of a temporary work agreements, or sometimes, often is the contemporary freelancings. And after sometimes, maybe after 6 months, you can lay off or you can have a different contract for other purposes. So that type of arrangement, the outsourcing, you can say, or maybe the other type of agreement you should have. They are not a permanent employees, permanent situation, but they are workers. So major organizational design challenges to ensure your employees they stay connected. That is very important. The employees should be stay connected. And the global structure issues are also there that you have to consider it. And that's why some of the higher skilled people are needed. Education is also important. Skilled people are needed to cope up this situation, so that you can, and moreover, you have to empower the people, and in the designs can be employees facilitated to organize the goals. Then your contemporary organizational design. So in this case, the flat organizational structures, you see there are flat structures. You can see the horizontal structure as well, where the boss is one, plant manager, and the manufacturing manager, sales manager, engineering manager, and your human resource managers are reporting. So it making important decisions at all levels. In all levels, there are important decisions, and finally it will reporting. And some of the product development team are there. There are those who are new productivity. They have to give us some feedback, give inputs to scenario, and another you're valuing the diversity task force there, because different people are coming and joining in there as an employee, and their viewpoints, any ideas or any decision making process, they have to give us some ideas. No, they have to change it. So in this process, they have to participate. So informal ties of the organization need to be observed. The things, the better view of the organizations, and this is basically talking about the building of the flexible organizations, how to build up. Always maintain the core and the focus on the challenging, and the changing of the experimenting the edges. Initiative focuses on solving the complex situation. Any complex situation is some initiative you have to take it. Then you ensure that there is a proper communication, and the communication among the team employees is very much needed, because the communication is one of the vital point where you can pass on the information, correct information to them, and develop the awareness of the people. So data and the analysis solve complex problems and accelerate the process of the decision making in significant matters. And it is essential to empower the employees and the teams whenever the needed things. These are the building purposes. So I think today, I think now we have to cover up some of the important aspects of the organizational design, where we can see a lot of structural and topological part that we have seen, horizontal, vertical, matrix, and the hybrid especially, and where the applications, different applications that we have seen, and then what are the factors, and moreover, during the designing of the structural organizational structures, you might have seen there are some of the advantage parties there and some disadvantages. So when you go through these things, so first things you have to, why these structures is important, and where the benefits are there, and for what type of organizations it can be suited, and what are the disadvantages also there. So this is the way you have to go through this, and you have to make your notes in such a way. first you describe the things, structures, and you put your advantage, then you put your disadvantage also. This is the way you can one by one, different type of structures you can explain. And what are the challenges, what are the problems, issues, how to build up, what the way you can develop the organizational structures is more important. That the way you have to see. So I think hopefully I have covered the most of the part. So I think now we can see the next week another block number 4 we have to decide where we have to stay. Okay. So now, okay. I think thank you very much. Thank you. वो क्लास चल रहा है। हेलो।